everyone. Welcome to another Monday movie. I'm Mr. Blue Summers. So this week I'll be showing you a technique that really every 3D artist should know, and that's how to use decals. Decals are essentially opacity mapped, textured polygons that are just barely on top of your original polygons. Now the reason that you would use this is to save texture space and so that you can decouple the uniqueness in your objects. You can reuse textures in other places that you might not otherwise be able to. Let me show you an example. I have a screenshot here from Half-Life 2, and if you look closely at this particular face, you'll notice that the brick texture repeats. Right here you can see two bands of dark bricks. But this is probably a decal, and you can tell because it doesn't repeat with the original texture. Again, you can really see the value here because we're reusing the brick texture all over this building. We're probably using it on this one over here. It's a little harder to tell. And I bet that you can reuse this logo in other places in the scene too. So again, this is a very powerful technique for low poly work, and it's a huge time saver in high poly work. Let me show you how to do it. I'm going to jump over to the scene in 3D Studio Max, and I've set up just a wall and floor with a concrete texture, and you can see the repetition pretty obviously. Now what we're going to do is apply a little bit of vandalism to this wall. I'm going to start off by selecting my polygon sub-object mode, hotkey 4, and I've selected one of these polygons, and that's the one I'm going to turn into some vandalism. I'm going to detach it, right here, detach. Make sure to detach it as clone. We want the original polygons to stay there. Some vandalism. Click OK. Now, the way that you would use this technique for non-linear, faces as well. Let's say you had a telephone pole, and you wanted to make a decal that is a bunch of write posters that wrap around the telephone pole. Well, you'd use this technique as well. You'd select that detached object and apply a push modifier. Push modifier. And what that's going to do is push all of the polygons along their normals by some specified amount. In our case, I'm just going to use 0.1. I want the polygons just barely separated, just enough that when this is being rendered, either in the game or in Studio Max, I want this to be rendered first. All right, we're looking good. Let's go ahead and build that material. So I'm going to open up my material editor, and I'm going to apply a new material here. Show it in the viewport. Now I've already gone into Photoshop and selected the vandalism that I want to use. It's just this robot spray. This is from the 3D Total texture library. I believe it's number 5, volume 5. It's graffiti. I've also extracted the opacity map that I'm going to use. So we've got the two maps that we need, and I've already saved them out. So back in Studio Max, I'm going to select those. Bitmap, graffiti, which is the diffuse map, and opacity. I'm going to select the corresponding mask. Open. Cool. We can see it here in the viewport. It looks like we just need to tweak the UVWs in order to make it work. So UVW. So in order to do that, I'm going to select face. Since this is all one polygon, I'm just going to select face. But if you had a more complicated object, you would want to use one of the other mapping types. So there you have it. There's the technique. We can now reuse this particular piece of vandalism anywhere in our scene or in our level. You just copy it out and reuse it. And keep in mind, again, you can use this for just about anything. It could be for vandalism. You could make blood splatters. You can put garbage into the streets. Paperwork on people's desks. Again, this is a very powerful technique. Try to use it whenever you can. Thanks for tuning in to another Monday movie. You can find all of my Monday movies as well as tutorials, resources, and downloads at my website, www.mrbluesummers.com.